What's up, you guys? UFO Proof here. Well, I decided to go a little bit earlier today, just because we were having this festival, some kind of parade we were having in town, and I was attempting to broadcast live, so you guys could see all the fireworks and shit, and I caught it at the last second, but I was doing it on my mobile phone, so I don't think it actually went. I don't even think it actually went live or even recorded, man. It looked like it did. It looked like it was working, but there were no views, no likes, no comments, no nothing. So I'm like assuming it didn't, it wasn't going out. So that kind of sucked, man. But I did get the drone going, which is fucking awesome, man. And that was my main thing, was I wanted to broadcast that so everyone could see that it fucking worked. I have accomplished it. What up, Gonzo Great? How you doing, buddy? What up, Golf Man? Doing good, man. If anyone wants to come and join, we're discussing UFO hotspots, more UFO hotspots from around the world. And feel free to come and say what's up. We'll be posting a link to join the Hangouts in the comment section on YouTube. You should see it posted next to my name, UFO Proof. That might not be it. Hang on. Let me make sure I got it for you guys. All right, boom. What up, Leroy Jenkins? Boom. So there it is. What up, Wade? How you doing, buddy? Look at that, dude. What hater's already on here with a thumbs down, huh? What loser is subscribed to my shit where as soon as they fucking come on, they're like, oh, I gotta give you a thumbs down, man. Oh, fucking losers. Ha! You love me, dude. What up, Z-Brax? It's right there, buddy. Yeah, dude. These fuckers love me, dude. I can't get enough of it. What's going on, Tony? How you been, buddy?
What up, brother?
Doing good?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yo, what's up, Kyle?
Who we got there? Hey, what up, Raphael?
Me, Rafael. I'm just going back from the city. A little bit drunk and stuff,
Where were you at?
I was going out in the city. I just had some nice conversation with the bartender. Kyle, I'm single again since 3 weeks, so now I can fuck shit up.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry, buddy. That sucks.
Yeah, no problem. I just had a great fucking conversation with a female barkeeper.
Dude, don't waste your fucking time with the bartender. See, that's her job, is to be nice and have good conversations, dude. It's like, oh, dude, I'm telling you, this girl likes me. Yeah, she works at the strip club, but I'm telling you guys, she fucking totally digs me, dude. You gotta know what's the difference, brother. You're in, buddy? Love the program? Hell yeah, dude. Not me. I just gave you a thumbs up. Hell yeah. One of these fuckers, just soon as I fucking started, gave me a thumbs down, dude. Not one of you guys. I mean, he's obviously not on here. Just some fucking troll, dude. What up, Sean? Yeah, as soon as I fucking started, I was like, as soon as I started, they're like, fucking thumbs down. You know what that means? That means you're subscribed to my shit. So, haha, because you fucking love me. Yeah, you know it's because they're jealous as fuck, dude. You know it, dude. They're haters. Yeah, so I attempted to go live with my using my phone or whatever, and it didn't go live for some, it didn't broadcast. But what I was showing everybody was that my new Typhoon H drone, I had that bitch fucking flying. I was filming the whole parade, and it might not seem like a big deal, except this is a $1,500 drone that I got for $100, and it didn't fucking work. And I got that bitch working, fucking flying, kicking ass, dude. I was so fucking stoked about it, man. Everyone at the parade was freaking out over it too, man, because I was flying it up and down fucking Main Street right over the floats and shit. Not on purpose. I was trying to stay high, but I kind of fucked up and I almost ran into some floats and shit. I was like, like trying to avoid them and shit, you know? But I'd like to continue our discussion on UFO hotspots from around the world because I thought that was a really interesting conversation we were having earlier today in the Google Hangouts I did earlier around noon today or whatever. And I thought we would continue that for all the people on the other side of the world who didn't get to participate in it because I thought it was a good subject. Hey, what up, Cyrus? What the fuck was that? Oh, it was Raphael, dude. Guaranteed, dude. Like that fucked up noise. Yeah, it's got to be Raphael, man. What up, Gyro 420?
What's up?
So Cyrus, guess what, dude?
What's up, man?
I was fucking flying the shit out of the Typhoon H, man.
Yeah, I just heard you talking about it.
Dude, I was fucking filming the parade with it. The only thing that sucks, and this is what I meant to call you about earlier, man, is I took it out for a test flight yesterday, and when I landed, it landed hard, and it broke the fucking camera off the gimbal, you know? Like the gimbal off the drone. And so like I need to solder those like the wires back together, and I don't know where they go. Like, you know, I see like where you have to hook them all, but I don't know which exact little spot I have to solder each wire. And so I can't use the fucking camera on it. But the drone flies just great, dude. And as soon as I figure out where those wires go, you know, it's fucking on, dude. You know, like this thing, dude, there's such a difference between $100 drone and a $1,500 drone, man. When you fly it, I mean, there's not even a comparison. I mean, like I was so fucking impressed with this thing, dude. I was fucking bad as shit, dude. So anyway,
is it like a wire or is there a plug that goes to it?
It's so it's like this little board that it's like these little metal pins, and you kind of slide it on there and they fucking touch each other. And the metal pin, like once they make contact, you know, it's just like that. So like the whole camera can slide on and off. And but the problem is like where the wires could connect to the little board, the little pins that actually rub against it, those fucking wires broke off the like the little soldered points, you know. So I soldered them together today, but they were obviously the wrong fucking way, dude. So I'm like, fuck, man. So that kind of sucks.
Be careful. You'll make it release the magic smoke.
Exactly. You know, everything seems to be working just fine though, except for the goddamn camera. But and I tried looking up how to find out about that fucking, like where to find the stuff on it, but I can't. Oh, what up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? What up, James? Yeah, I can't find a fucking like a schematic or something for it, you know, to show me like where the wires go. A pain in the ass, man. Anyway, so Cyrus, did you catch today's or earlier's hangout?
Yeah, I was at the office.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we were talking about UFO hotspots, and for everybody else out there, what up, Dave? How you doing, buddy? We're discussing UFO hotspots, so I kind of like to continue that conversation. Sean saying my phone is so dead, or I'd come on. Is that the only way you jump on? Is using your phone? You don't have a fucking like a computer with a like a webcam? That's weird. I always thought it was funny how he like set up his fucking like camera and then like we're looking at the computer too, and then doing all that shit. No shit, that makes sense. So you don't even have a webcam, dude. I see. Oh man. Well, anyway, so Cyrus, tell me, dude, what are some of your favorite UFO hotspots around the world? What do you think?
Maybe Hestelen in Norway.
Excellent place, man. Absolutely. And why don't you go ahead and explain what Hestelen is to people who don't know in case they're watching for the first time?
Well, it's generally thought that Hestelen is a natural phenomenon. It's earth lights. It's a rural valley. It's Norway, right? I think it's Norway.
Yes, it is.
It's a very rural place. And I think they've been monitoring that area for 20 years now, 25 years, since the 80s, I think.
At least since the like the late 80s or early 90s or something, they've been monitoring that place. And he, Cyrus, I have to agree with Cyrus now. Everybody else seems to think that it's a bunch of UFO activity, because that's what they're seeing. They're seeing basically UFOs, you know, like flying lights, but not just flying lights. They have tons of reports of straight up silver discs, you know, UFOs that look like men's hats and shit, shooting down beams of light, stuff like that. So they have tons of like actual UFO reports, but they have this phenomenon there where you see these what appear to be UFOs, these balls of light that just kind of float around throughout the sky, and they are everyone seems to think they're UFOs, and I'm on the fence about that. I think they are in fact a natural phenomenon. You know, oh shit, my battery just got done charging. Hang on, I gotta take that off.
I gotta remember to go charge my batteries because tomorrow's a flying day. So I'm gonna send up the mini Talon and try out some new autopilot modes.
Hell yeah, dude. It sucked, man, because I fucking I thought one of the reasons why they got rid of the drone for so cheap is because they couldn't it wouldn't fly. Not only was it all fucked up, but the batteries wouldn't take a charge. You know, both batteries, neither one of them would take a charge. And I fucking jimmied them around and just kind of fucking like jimmied them into place, and fucking both of them charge now. And it sucks because I fucking just ordered a brand new battery for fucking $50, dude. You know, I'm like, fuck, I didn't need that. I got two of them. They're fucking perfectly fine, dude. So that kind of sucks.
Well, now you got three.
Now I have three, exactly. You know.
Yo, sorry, my phone died.
Oh no, shit! How'd you get back on this time? Was you get your spare phone?
No, I'm at home now. I was on my way home back from the city. I was.
Well, throw your other guy off of here, dude. Which one are you?
What?
Here, start talking.
Oh, it's me. I just said on the camera.
I know
the other
it's
one.
you. There's two of them. Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, because the one is my phone and it's empty there.
Start talking. Yeah, I'm throwing it out of here. There we go. I just ejected it.
So I just had like the best conversation I had in my life with a girl.
No, you fucking didn't. You're fucking lit. You're drunk, and you're fucking talking to this girl, and you're like, oh yes, she's all on me. She's a fucking bartender, dude. All right,
dude, I brought her home. I brought her home.
Oh wow, fucking awesome. Good for you, dude.
She talked with me about Mandela effect and all this shit, and dude,
wow. Raphael, you just broke up with your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. Fucking wait. Just don't even fuck around for a little bit. Wait.
No,
like,
but just talking, you know. I never
don't even talk to him, dude.
Dude, it doesn't matter. I never had a conversation like this with a girl or a guy. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just, dude. She's all like, right. She's in the same shit like me, and she's just 1 year older. So, and she's from Ukraine. So.
Oh, Ukrainian bitches. Huh?
Yeah,
dude. She's a Russian spy. I don't fucking trust her, dude.
Dude, Russians are cool. Nah, dude, I don't know. It was just like she has the same thoughts I had about how fucked up the whole system and everything is. You know?
That's true, man.
Dude.
Deadwood is saying, oh, wild as can be. Also, look at Tesla competition in big rigs. Nikola H2 big rig, 1,200 miles per tank. Oh, yeah, dude. I just saw him fucking bring out those like self-driving fucking semi-trailers or whatever. Those are fucking sick, dude. It's like people are like, oh, it's going to put drivers out of work. No, it's not. It's just going to make them have to do less work because you still have to have a driver in the fucking cab, you know? He just doesn't have to actually pay attention while he's driving now.
Dude, I have one problem with Elon Musk.
What?
You know the Hyperloop?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a project. Oh my God, how do I tell it in English? That's predestined to fail.
No, it's not.
It is. How do you want, dude?
dude.
Think like a physicist. Think like a physicist.
Yes.
You have metal. You have
Metal.
like I don't know how many miles or kilometers of metal tunnel they want to make in a vacuum tube, you know?
Uh-huh.
Dude, you have so much miles of metal, you know? Heat and cold will shrink as it will expand and shrink the tube. How do you
Yeah.
want to maintain a vacuum in a tube that's approximately thousands of meters long where the temperature, because it's under the earth, is warping, so the metal is warping, you know? It has to have really ingenious thoughts about it because of the material, how it's you know, expand in the heat, you know?
You want to know? You
Because
want to know
if you
how? Okay.
miscalculate it, you have a leak in the vacuum and
Yeah.
it's basically going to shit and everyone is going to die.
Check us out,
So
man. So check us out. So, you know, you're thinking as a physicist. You're not thinking as an engineer. And that's your problem. As soon as you start thinking as an engineer, the problem gets solved because that's what engineers do.
yes, but it's still the same problem. The engineer has to calculate all the fucking what's the smallest
Yeah, but that's what they
you
do.
have in America. In Austria, it's
Um,
called mu. Mu is the smallest thing. Once was in a company where I repaired and made carbon parts for DTM Le Mans race cars, and it was in a range of 0.0001 mu, where I had to. It has to be correct, otherwise the engine will fail and stuff. You know,
You're talking
and
about a
that's
micron?
yeah, or it's in my country it's called mu, you know. It can be micro. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's just my language, you know.
oh,
I don't know. We have metric system, you know. It's different than
yeah,
yours. So
fucking crazy ass
but
metric
I
system.
think the micron is metric.
still it's how will an
Okay, but
engineer it's I
listen, you
can
know, that's the thing. I actually went and I looked it up because I heard somebody was that one guy Thunderfoot was trying to
yes, I
debunk it.
saw this too.
I saw his video, and first of all, his whole fucking thing, basically almost all of it was about a terrorist shooting it with a gun. You know, it's like, yeah, if a crazy person decides to shoot it with a gun, yeah, it would kill a lot of people. Of course,
You
if they
can't
also
shoot it
decided to plant
because
a
it's
bomb under it, they would
feet
kill it with a bunch
under
of
the
people.
ground.
Or they could just
So
start shooting people. Yeah, duh, you can't fucking do anything about that. Okay, if there's a terrorist attack or something, yeah, okay, big deal. You can't do anything about that. But
yes, you
the
can.
his theory for why this thing won't work is ridiculous. It would work, and I seen a fucking rebuttal to all his videos by the team on Reddit, man. But by the people who make the who are making it. And
Yeah.
they shut down all of his points, and they brought up a bunch of shit that he had never even fucking thought of. And they're like, you know, you're fucking stupid on this, and you don't know shit
Dude,
about this or that. And
do you
know,
remember the Concorde? It's
the
the same
what?
shit. Concorde, the hypersonic flight plane.
Concorde,
Concord.
Concorde, yeah.
the joint British-French plane. Yeah.
Yes.
What about it?
Hyperloop will end the same. I call it, mark my words.
Now,
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying
saying.
you're saying it won't
2
be a
or 3
successful
years in
business.
the run, and then they will cancel it because it's too much to maintenance. It's too much of the cost that, you know, it's
Um,
there's so much economy you have to account for it. You have it's even if Elon Musk have that much money, he has to employ people to keep it maintained. He has to employ people that drive the thing, even if it's remote controlled. He has to have someone in like mission control to control all the shit. You know,
yeah, you're acting like all these things are impossible.
I'm not acting like it's possible. I'm acting like it's really hard to make it
Well, yeah, you're
worth the
starting a
money.
company from scratch, and you're starting to create a new idea from nothing. You know, go ahead, Cyrus.
No, I didn't have anything other than, I mean, well, you know, they have people to maintain the subway, although the subway in Washington is a piece of junk.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that this this concept is, is absolutely achievable. And you guys, like when people act like it's not achievable, it
Yes,
absolutely
it
is, dude.
but
And
not for the next
to say
2
we can't
years.
build a fucking hyperloop, I think is ridiculous, man. I mean, when we can build the Large Hadron Collider, I think we can build the fucking hyperloop.
Dude, that's a really different thing. In the hyper,
Yeah, but
in
its
the
scope,
Large Hadron Collider, you have a tube that's shooting particles.
yeah, we know what the
Smaller,
Hadron Collider is. What
great.
we're talking about is the fact that we were able to design and create it, not on what
Yeah,
it does specifically.
but still, look at
that through its
time.
complexity.
Look at the scientists. Look at the engineers it evolved. It
Yeah,
involved. So,
yeah.
dude, like
I
if
mean, did you ever
America
think
would,
that they were going to build a rocket that could land itself? But they did.
that's yeah, dude, a rocket that lands itself in dude. So there's the thing. I'm now 23 years old. I spent the half of my time playing video games. So my concept of the world is like I know how things work in the PC. I know how things work in real life. So
Yeah.
the thing is now, I listen to many science panels and shit, and they say people that grew up with video games and stuff like this are more able to understand quantum theory because they are not how should I say, they're not tied to only the thing they see in the real world. So it's one of the things. I don't think Hyperloop or something like this will go in the next 1 or 2 years. I think it's like more than 5 years to go till
So
it's from the paper, so it's really reliable,
Yeah. So what? That shit happens, Anyway, what's up, Harry Toe? How you doing, buddy? Bobby Cash doing good? Yeah, I was gonna say, it riled up, dude. I think Raph is fucking coked out of his mind right now, dude.
Nah, I'm not taking coke.
Oh, bullshit! You're high on cocaine like a motherfucker, dude.
The only
Dude, you were dancing with Peruvian Flake, and you know it, dude.
what the fuck is Peruvian flake?
Oh yeah, stupid now, huh?
So
yeah, you fucking doing
another
rails off the titties, dude.
another
You
thing.
started a line off that bartender's ass. Just admit it, dude.
She hasn't that great ass, but she has a nice personality. But I had another thought today. Like I have a thought that there's
Please share it
maybe
with us because we all care so much.
maybe if Beetlejuice is going supernova in our lifetime,
Yeah.
I think it will change everything. Because when the Chinese once documented a light during another sun during the daylight and another moon during the nighttime. So Betelgeuse is a star that's going supernova soon. There are scientists
Maybe.
that can
but I doubt
predict
any
how
time in our lifetime, man.
it can be in our lifetime because the star is unstable, and there's a team of scientists that came up with a theory or a hypothesis. I don't know right now. They have like on the south or north pole in the Arctic somewhere, they have a machine that's okay. No, it's not a machine. It's like hand.
You know what? I'm gonna cut you off right there. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Listen, I want to discuss the topic of the show today. All right, and but I'd like to discuss UFO hotspots from around the world. And as we were discussing before, you jumped in with your craziness.
Sorry.
It's okay. We were discussing Hezbollah, and like I said, and like as Cyrus believes, is in fact a natural phenomenon, more like earth lights that you get when an
earthquake. Yeah.
Exactly. Like this, like the same concept is happening. What up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? And Trevor, you so
I got another one for you.
What's up?
Marfa, Texas.
Oh yeah, I actually did a video.
I
don't know
just
if
read a
you
whole
saw
bunch
that.
about that one.
Did you see the video I did on them?
I don't know if I have. I don't remember.
I did a video on the Marfa lights in Texas, the lights of Brown Mountain, and Hezbollah. I did a video of like a compilation of all of them. And these Marfa lights and Brown Mountain lights are, basically lights that just they just kind of, I think they're the same as Hezbollah, where they are like a natural phenomenon that just kind of lights up. In a sense, it is a UFO, Sean, because it is an unidentified flying object. Also, now the Marfa lights, one thing about that is that I don't trust, because I've never seen anyone attempt to go out to the lights, because it's far out into the desert. All right. I've never seen anyone attempt to go out into the lights. However, I will say this. There are oil refineries everywhere in fucking Texas. Okay. I'm talking everywhere. And you get one refinery, it could be 40 miles away, and you'd still see the flames lighting up the sky, like lighting up, and I think there is a possibility that they might be seeing flames from an oil refinery. Now I know
what some of it is.
What's up?
So I read a long article about it. They actually, I think even the federal government provided financial assistance for it, but they set up a lights viewing area just outside of town in Marfa. It's like a tourist attraction now. Yeah. But the 99% chance what you're going to see if you go to that viewing area is you're going to see there's a road that runs in between Marfa and the next town, and the 99% chance what you're going to see is headlights from cars. And actually, what I think is happening is that is a very arid desert area, and that whole area is a big bowl-shaped valley in between mountains. Yeah. What happens is during the day, the sun is beating down on all those sand and rocks and heating it up and getting it hot. And then at night, when the air cools off, you wind up with a temperature inversion. Mm-hmm. So what you're getting is an inferior mirage. The temperature inversion is taking the light from headlights that are actually over the horizon on the other side of the ridge from like 30 miles away and bending it through that layer of atmosphere across the valley to your eyes. So that's why it looks all distorted and weird, because it's actually a mirage that you're seeing at night. So you can't tell that it's like a mirage because it's just a light.
That's an excellent answer.
Same principle like Fata Morgana, like.
It's the Fata Morgana that's exactly what it is. The Fata Morgana is an inferior mirage. But I did read an article where the people that are local, and people have like, I think the University of Texas went out there and did a study on it, and they said we're convinced that it's headlights, but they're only out there for like a week because that's all they can afford to stay out there. People that have researched it long term are saying, well, we know about the headlights, and those are here almost every night, but we've seen stuff that only happens maybe 20 or 30 times in an entire year, and it's not headlights, it's something else. Now, like you, I suspect strongly that if there is something else going on, it's some kind of natural phenomenon that we don't fully understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the electric discharges at Yellowstone Park?
Similar to that, yeah.
I think it's similar to that,
I have to agree, now, but that's to say, I'm not taking away from the whole UFO point, because I also do believe that when it comes to UFO hotspots, that there are just natural places around the earth that UFOs would be attracted to for whatever reason, for geological study, or possibly gathering energy and stuff, like God, what's that one place in Arizona? Sedona. Like Sedona, Arizona is another UFO hotspot, and it doesn't have any kind of like lights associated with it, but it does have all kinds of UFOs, and the UFOs associated with Sedona are craft, are like straight up like craft that people report. And I think that's what's really interesting, man. Werner here says, according to Christopher O'Brien, the San Luis Valley UFO is a UFO hotspot. Who's saying that earlier? I thought someone was saying that earlier too. Energy ley lines or random trailer parks.
It seems like I was going to say, it seems like a lot of the real, the quote unquote real UFO hotspots are it's a transient thing, like a local flap, like what was going on in Southwest Virginia in like the late 1980s. Then
like the New York flap and
the Hudson Valley
and stuff
in the 80s and 90s, or there was one just recently, maybe 5-10 years ago in Texas, and like Texas is so big, I can't remember exactly where.
I wonder now, say we were to go and collect all the data from all the different UFO hotspots from around the world, and then also all the flaps, all the flaps that happen. I wonder if you couldn't aggregate all that information and predict where one might be, where a flap might occur,
if you could find a pattern.
Yeah, it's I'm wondering if you couldn't have a computer algorithm to be able to pull out a pattern, I wonder if that's possible, because that's the one thing that I assume is that if we're going to ever, prove the existence of UFOs, the one thing that you have to be able to do is you have to be able to predict where they're going to be at a given time, and, using like the scientific method or whatever. If you're able to do that, then you're able to unequivocally say, yes, 100%, they are in fact real, if you can use the scientific method, in proving it. And if we were to it's like, you got to kind of like outthink them, you have to be more clever than they are. Perhaps it is because of kind of like Star Trek with that what their protocol 1 or whatever, where they can't interfere with life on another planet due to them
the prime directive.
The prime directive, exactly. Perhaps that is in fact something that's true. I mean, like, we might, even if we were to leave our planet one day and find another planet with intelligent life on it that wasn't as advanced as we are, or whatever, we might try to attempt to do the same thing, where we might want to study them, but we don't want to interfere with them, because that will in fact that will taint the study. If you are,
we do already.
What's up?
When we do that already, when we launch our plant probes, so the microbes that are from Earth do not, populate another planet or destroy another life system on another planet.
I don't know what you said, man. Like, half the shit you said cut out, dude. It sounded like a robot, man.
We already do that. We scrub our probes that go to other planets for microbes before they get there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have already done that. We make sure that we don't pollute other planets with our germs, our microbes, our organisms that are here on Earth.
But we're talking about straight up, like, if they were to see us, if they're like a species that wasn't, highly evolved, if they were to see us flying around in their skies, that they might take us as gods or something, and it would affect our study of them, and and that's perhaps that's why UFOs make it a point to try to keep their distance. Well, not keep their distance. I mean, basically, they can interact with a person, but just not like groups of people, because that would have, that would change like their study of them, like then people start, seeing them as a real thing or whatever, and might start trying to worship them or something like that. you know, an individual, hell, no one might believe an individual, you know. Hell, you might not even believe fucking, you know, 10,000 individuals, you know. But just to make it, you know, just to make it a point to try to conceal themselves, you know, perhaps that's what they're doing. And if that is, you know, if that is the case, then perhaps we could get a computer to have, you know, we could write an algorithm that would, you know, aggregate every UFO flap. Say we went through all the cases, like you took the UFO stalker map and all that shit and just went through every single case and, you know, and put it into this algorithm and try to get the computer to make a prediction on where the attack would, or not the attack, where the UFO would in fact show up. You know, if I mean, I wonder if we could do something like that, you know. But that's just a side thought. Back to the UFO hotspots. I also think that that perhaps there are places on Earth where, I don't know if they maybe have some kind of a base or something. You know, perhaps like inside a mountain, or perhaps like under the water or something like that, where, you know, whatever they it's like they can't be, maybe it's an issue trying to travel home every single day, so you would kind of need a place to camp out, and maybe, you know, having a place like inside of a mountain, or finding a little area of Earth that you could kind of go and camp out and hide out for a little while would make sense, you know. We can see that up out loud. I'm not sure what James is talking about. But I want people from other planets. I'd want people from other planets to worship me. Like, who wouldn't? You know, I guess that's true. What's the parallel of UFO traffic 43 or some shit? Video from the ISS. I watch a few videos of things captured on their video. Don't know what that means. I'd have to go back through the comments. That's where I'm from, Southwest Virginia, Roanoke.
Dark Knight.
How big is this flap, and where do flaps occur? That's what we're trying to
Dark Knight is spoiler foil.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, you know. Is where could, you know, where do these flaps occur at? Where, you know, and because if we could predict where a flap would occur, and I would think it would be a UFO hotspot, you know, but like the flaps and hotspots are like really different things, you know. So like the flap can occur basically anywhere where you're just having tons of sightings that last for a while, and the hotspot is where you have continuous sightings forever, you know. So you know, it's always in the same location. So you know, one might be a little easier to predict than the other one, you know. But I mean, I definitely think that there's something to these UFO hotspots, and that there might be a place where UFOs you know, call Earth home. You know, there could be places where they're like, this is kind of like where we camp out and shit like that, man, you know.
I'd be interested to see if there's a correlation between where quote unquote UFO hotspots are, and we know that there are places on the Earth where the electromagnetic field of the Earth is more disturbed, where it's harder to get compass readings and stuff like that. And coming at it from a skeptic mindset, could that be the kind of thing that is more prone to affect the human mind? So people are seeing UFOs in that area, but it's a relation between the electromagnetic field of the Earth and a psychological effect.
You think maybe like a visual or auditory hallucination, maybe?
Or right, or even I think there's a, and I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it, but there used to be a professor at, it was a university in Canada, and I do not remember his name or the name of the university. He had a theory that a lot of UFO stories come from electromagnetic disturbances that start out as something kind of like ball lightning, but as it interacts with the human mind, it makes you hallucinate and see things.
I mean, that's quite possible. Go ahead, Raphael.
Then it
Yeah, they made a helmet.
Are you Raphael?
That projected electromagnetic field.
Raphael, go ahead.
You know, there's have to be like really strong disturbances like that you can make a metal ball levitate, because the moon also has magnetic forces. You can see it on the flood, and when the water is going down, the water is going back. It's
the moon
also
doesn't have magnetic forces, dude.
It has gravitational force. Gravity, yes. But gravity, you know, when you are in the MR, magnetic resonance, in the hospital, you are basically in a magnetic irregularity. Do you have hallucinations in there? No.
I didn't.
So
okay, John.
it has to be a really strong magnetic disturbance, in my opinion, so that it can affect anything in our brain, you know.
Gyro, what were you saying now?
Yeah, that professor he was talking about in Canada made a helmet that projected magnetic fields to certain parts of your brain, and it would make you feel like you were being abducted, or you've seen a afterlife experience, or an
I remember that too.
Is there any recorded empirical evidence for that?
I saw that that guy making that helmet and stuff too, but
yeah.
I didn't see any evidence of what he was saying to actually be true. You know, like like people are like straight up are like, oh yeah, I put the helmet on and I see a UFO. You know, it was all just a fucking theory, like theoretical, but I don't think he actually proved anything.
Yeah, they just said they felt bad feelings and sick.
Get these strong magnets you can buy for factories and hold it to your head. Try it. You won't get hallucinations.
I think you're talking about neodymium magnets.
Yes, exactly.
Might, unless you have a metal plate.
Now, I like that.
Yes, if you have some plates in your head, because
fucking douche. Jesus. Like there's this what was his name? Boy Bushman or whatever. He did this experiment he was talking about. I didn't see the actual like evidence for it, but he did have some certificates showing that this was in fact true. With what he did was he took two neodymium magnets, so 5,000-pound test magnets. All right, so these magnets could literally lift 5,000 pounds, and he took two of them and he drilled a hole through two of them, like right in the center, and then he put a big bar, like a big screw or a big bolt, and then he put them, you know, so they were repelling each other, you know, so you couldn't push them together, and then he took two nuts on each side and he wound them until he squeezed them together, you know, and he squeezed the fucking two 5,000-pound test magnets all the way until they were fucking touching. And then once he did that, he kept the bolts on and he cut off the ends of the bolts or he kept the nuts on and he cut off the end of the bolts. And now he said he could actually measure the field coming off of the magnets or whatever. And he took them up a flight of stairs or whatever, a couple stories up, and he would take that and a rock and he would drop them at the same time, and the rock would always hit the ground first and the magnets would fall slower, you know. Now I don't know if this is true, I didn't see an experiment for it, but he did work for Lockheed Martin and he did have some certificates indicating that this was in fact true. I don't know what that actually proves. Does that prove will that prove that you know, that gravity, you know, is affected by the magnetic fields. You know, I mean, why would it in fact be falling slower than the rock? You know, like
Could
is it?
just be it has more atmospheric drag. If he's not dropping it in a vacuum,
Well, I think it creates an
Well,
equal.
he had them actually both in like a little fucking like a little shell thing, you know, like he had one like a little rock was in like this little shell thing, a little capsule, and then the magnet was in like this little shell thing. So they were both in the same, they both looked exactly the same, you know. And he had these guys down at the bottom, and he would like just bring me whatever one hits the ground first. And so he would, you know, drop them, and this rock would always hit the ground first. It was the same weight as the magnets and everything, but the rock would always hit the ground
Well,
first.
I think the way
magnet would fall slower.
yeah, the weight doesn't matter.
he
No,
tried to
correct.
explain that it was magneticity and gravity were related but canceled each other out.
Well, of course, like magnetism and gravity are related. It's one of the natural forces, you know, electromagnetism, gravity, the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force. So, of course, they're related to each other. Yeah, I mean, they have to be. But, I mean, it's interesting that
But they actually
what?
they can actually cancel each other out if you have a stronger magnetic field.
That's why you can levitate magnets on super cooled things.
Yeah. But that's like that's actually different from, you know, having the magnetic field, just a strong magnetic field repel itself and then dropping it and floating down. When you're talking about a superconducting magnet, which is, you know, that's when you like put a magnet in liquid nitrogen, you know, it becomes a superconducting magnet, and that's when it'll levitate. And it's actually really neat because the magnetic connections that happen, they become like completely static and stable. So they're like straight lines and shit. So like you can like put a magnet when it's super cooled or whatever, you can take it and like bend it and flip it or whatever, and it'll stay perfectly locked in that position whatever you put it, whatever position you put it in. It stays just kind of like locked in there until it, you know, obviously warms back up, you know. But it's like I don't think that really, the superconducting magnet didn't have anything to do with this test. You know, this was I mean, like, really, they don't really know what it has to do with. You know, he's saying that it has to do with anti-gravity devices, you know, and I'm like, I mean, you know, so say you created an electromagnet, a really powerful electromagnet, like, you know, when at a junkyard when you see those big magnets go and they lift up the old car and shit, that's like a really powerful electromagnet, you know. Say you just create one of those and then do the same experiment, you know. I mean, what happens then? Would that create a anti-gravity propulsion unit? I mean, would that you know, how the fuck would that work?
It is counteracting the force of gravity on the old car.
Oh yeah, you know. Let's check the comment section on YouTube real quick. What up, Vladimir? How you doing, buddy? Was that Boyd Bushman Harry Toe? Yes, it was, sir. You got it. Yeah, Kyle, your voice is a robot. That's not me. That was Gyro. Unless my voice to you guys was coming in as a robot. I have no idea. I've had an MRI and nothing happened to me. Point. What the fuck is he talking about, dude? Travioso, I'm gonna kick your ass out of here, dude. Oh, there we go. Sean said volcanoes for a UFO hotspot. I'm gonna have to agree. There are countless UFOs being sighted at, or sightings at volcanoes, especially in Mexico and places like that.
Was that volcano called Popocatépetl?
Yeah, Popocatépetl or something.
Yeah, it's tough for me to pronounce.
Yeah, me too. You know, but it's right next to Teotihuacan, and
it's close to Mexico City.
What's up?
It's close to Mexico City. It's just to the southeast of it.
Which is that is where, in fact, Teotihuacan is in Mexico City. You know, I like that, the City of the Gods. That's the name of it too, man. What a cool fucking name, man. You know, Dave is saying, well, they have the world's strongest magnet where they drop items through its field of ferrous and non-ferrous metals, and all fell at different rates. Yeah, in fact, I actually saw where they created like one of the world's strongest electromagnets, and it would actually magnetize everything. It could make anything float. And I seen them put they were making spiders. They were dropping spiders and frogs and shit in there, and it's just a little tube surrounded by this gigantic electromagnet, and with enough power, everything becomes magnetized and everything will float, you know. And I mean, like, they're like, even living creatures will become magnetized, you know. That's fucking interesting, man. I like Vladimir's name is Aroused Toilet. That's fucking funny, dude. Anyway, James, what are you doing on here, buddy?
Yo.
Hey. How you doing, brother?
Now, what's up? What's up?
Well, what are your thoughts, man? UFO hotspots, dude.
Megalithic sites, Stonehenge.
Oh, good one. Absolutely. You know,
there's always been reports of that, you know.
That's absolutely true, man. There's tons of reports around Stonehenge. There's tons of reports around Egypt, around Baalbek. Countless megalithic sites always do seem to have a lot of UFO sightings. Perhaps this is why, in fact, that they have that people contribute the construction of megalithic sites to aliens, because of all the sightings that occur. And perhaps that's why back in the early, back in the ancient times, a lot of people would say that the gods created them, and perhaps that's the same thing, that they were seeing UFOs, and so they just assumed that these were the gods who created these megalithic structures, and perhaps it wasn't ever aliens. I mean, I don't ever think it was, but in fact that the aliens are interested in that area or that megalithic site for some reason, and that's why you always see them. Or perhaps the megalithic sites are built there because they are in fact UFO hotspots.
It's like the Nazca ley lines, like they you can only see the big picture of it if you're in the air, and back then they didn't have airplanes or none of that, so why did they make it like that? Those are all like interesting.
Now, when it comes to the Nazca lines, I think that, yes, there is. Now, the skeptics, and I hate this answer, the skeptics always say that, oh, well, can't they just do it for the fact for creating the piece of art, you know? And yes, I understand that artists like to create art just for the mere fact of having created it, all right? However, when you do create art, it is so it can be enjoyed by other people than you know?
Right.
And when you're creating something that's just for the point of you creating it, you don't, you wouldn't make a drawing of something that's, that's part of nature, that's so fucking gigantic that it would last through for all time and shit. You don't pick a specific part of the earth where there's almost no rainfall, where that could in fact last for thousands of more years, you know? I mean, that stuff was picked out. They went there and did that for a specific reason, like where the Nazca line are. There wasn't like a fucking a civilization that was right there that fucking lived exactly where the lines are. They actually lived off to the side of where the lines are, and the lions are just in a fucking desert plateau and shit out there, and so they had to travel to go and make these lines and create them. And I think that the reason why I think I link them to ancient astronauts is not because that you need aliens help or you need to be flying to do it. You definitely do not need to be flying to create that piece of art. Any fucking talented artist could absolutely create the Nazca lines purely in their head. All right. Because when you are a skilled artist like that, I mean, that shit, it just comes naturally to you. It's just like people who can solve a Rubik's Cube, like really fast, you know, it's something that just naturally comes to them. And so they picture it in their heads. They already can do it in their heads. And the whole design is already done. So they just start it and finish it. Like it's already done in their head. So they can see it in their head, how it's going to look. But the reasoning behind it, that is, you know, is so gods can see it. So their God can see it.
Exactly.
You know, and assuming their God must have been in the sky, you know, or they wanted somebody to see it. Like when I go out with a laser to a UFO hunt, you know, it's to try to get these guys' attention. Perhaps that's what these giant geoglyphs on the ground are doing, you know, are made for to get the attention of these sky gods.
I mean, what other reason would they have made it? I mean,
you know, the skeptics would say strictly for the fact of having made it, just because they just want to say, "Oh, I made it." You know, it's such a stupid answer.
And besides the animals that they portrayed, isn't there some weird lines that are they try to say they compare them to landing strips or something?
That are what?
The right there at the Nazca, the lines that some of them are like these straight lines that go on for miles and miles. Real bunched together, and they're like it's a landing strip. They say, some people say, I don't know.
Yeah, that it looks like a fucking landing strip, but you know, you would never land a plane on it. However, these lines do go out for, some of them go for 40 miles. You know,
that's crazy.
And if you know where, like I've gotten a map of the Nazca lines, and I went on Google Earth and went and looked at where all the different, you know, all the different lines are and stuff like that, which is really cool to see from Google Earth. And what's interesting is that there are so many more lines and drawings of creatures and animals and stuff that are not on any of the fucking maps. And that, you know, like I'm like talking, if anyone was to just go out there, they could literally claim these discoveries, dude. You know, I mean, like, you know, it's starting to seem like a lot of archaeology and stuff like that is actually being done with satellites, with Google Earth and stuff. You know, people are finding pyramids and all kinds of different structures and stuff like that. And I mean, I wonder what it would take to get your, you know, because I mean, like I personally have discovered a number of different designs and shit in Nazca, or well, close to Nazca, that aren't depicted anywhere. They're not depicted on any fucking any of the known drawings of the, you know, Nazca lines and stuff like that. And so I'm assuming that they just haven't been discovered yet. Like no one has went and made, you know, made it a point to say, hey, look, this is a new design out there or whatever. So I'm going to suggest to everybody here to go out there, to go on Google Earth and go and find these new designs out there and try to get that shit known, because there are a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there that is not on any of the maps of any of the Nazca lines. And so it appears that they simply don't know that they exist, you know, but you could go out there and you can go out there and find them. And I mean, like, it's fucking, it's really neat, dude.
It's like where I live here. It's so unexplored. It's all mountains and wilderness, but there's old coal mines and stuff, you know, that are abandoned that you can go to that are parks, but they're big as hell. And you can walk these cool ass trails, and you can go in the caves and stuff. And I plan on going exploring them this summer and seeing what I could find. I mean, you never know what you turn up.
Aroused Toilet is saying, what's your opinion on the Bermuda Triangle, and will you do a video about it? Yeah, actually, you know what? That's a good idea. I should do a video on the Bermuda Triangle. My opinion on it is that it's purely a coincidence that there just happens to be a number of plane crashes and stuff. Now, the thing is that the Bermuda Triangle started with, what was it, a Flight 19 or whatever? You know, I forget what.
Well,
flight
no, it goes back way back when.
No. I understand that. It started with the USS Cyclops. Okay, I know that was the first one that they recorded. However, it was like Flight 19 or whatever. It was like the 5 planes or whatever that disappeared, and then they sent out a rescue plane that also disappeared. And I think that's when the whole mythos of the Bermuda Triangle started. Now, even though there's other you know, crashes and, or, you know, mysterious disappearances of, you know, ships and shit and planes disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. They just started recording, you know, that's where it started, was with that flight. And then so all of a sudden, you know, it became like, oh, it's a big mystery. Now, the thing is that there are countless cases of planes disappearing and ships disappearing in the ocean, all right, all over the planet, that are just as mysterious. So I'm like, you know, like, really, you could make that triangle anywhere. You could put that triangle anywhere on Earth, and I guarantee you there are going to be a number of cases where they don't know what the fuck happened. The people just fucking disappeared. A ship disappeared. The planes disappeared. Whatever, you know. I guarantee you could do that anywhere on any of the Earth's ocean, and there will be cases of, you know, ships and planes just straight up just disappearing, them not knowing what happened, you know, lost communication, and then the ship was just gone, you know. I guarantee it. So to say like that it's the Bermuda Triangle, I don't know if anything specific, like, if, you know, they say that, you know, there's like methane underwater that, you know, rises to the surface, and then it makes the water like it's less buoyant, and so ships will just kind of like fall through it, you know, because of all these methane bubbles. And, you know, there's a number of different theories. But I mean, like, you know, that could happen, like that could happen anywhere. I don't know why the Bermuda Triangle is. I think the only reason why they have the Bermuda Triangle is simply because of that flight, the Flight 19, and then the rescue plane that went and looked for them, and then it disappeared too. I think that's the only reason that we even have a Bermuda Triangle. But I think I will do a video on it. That's a good idea, Vladimir. Thank you. Cobra 89 is saying, weren't they like gas bubbles underwater? Yes, correct, man. And then Harry Toast says, sometimes shit happens. Fucking best answers here, right there. It's just, sometimes shit happens. And when you're out in the middle of the fucking ocean, shit can happen and you're fucked. If shit goes down out there, you're fucked. You'll never catch my ass out in the middle of the ocean. That will never fucking happen, you know? I will never be out there for any reason.
I was going to say, when it comes to Flight 19, speaking as a pilot, it's real easy to get lost when you're up in the air. And that's over the land where you've got landmarks and stuff to see. I mean, it's happened to me. And I had to rely on my instruments. I didn't know where I was. I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to follow my instruments and go where they tell me to go. I was like, oh, okay. You know, this is after several minutes. Like, oh, I know where I'm at now.
No,
Cyrus?
what about... Go ahead, Raphael.
Cyrus, were you flying near thunderstorms?
I have flown near thunderstorms. Yes.
Have you seen the St. Elmo's fire on the windscreen yet?
Never have.
Oh.
I've seen videotape of it. It's fucking cool looking, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've seen video of it.
In my work, we have machines. They are, you know, rotating. And sometimes when we have oversized paper or PE, we have to use some plastic shit over the spindle thing, so it rushes, it goes over it, and it's so cool. You can see, sometimes you can see the lightning, and when you put down the lights, you can clearly see the coronal discharge. It's so cool.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
you can smell it. Dude, it's so cool. Sometimes I love my work.
I actually, there's a couple of articles about it on the internet. There was a plastic plant. I think 3M. They were manufacturing plastic film, and they had it was somewhere in like the southeast, like South Carolina or Georgia, or maybe even Louisiana or someplace where it can get very humid in the summer. And they had like big plastic rolls, like 20 feet wide, going up on a roll and then going across and then going down. And they said when it got humid, there would be so much static electricity inside this little kind of tent that you literally could not walk through it. It would stop you because there was so much. Yeah. 3M, actually, there's a sign. They actually wrote if you go look at it, 3M actually published a scientific paper about it, and they had to ground the rolls to copper rods down in the ground in the concrete to keep that basically static electricity force field from forming because it was dangerous.
Wow. No
there are
shit.
stories that flies would get stuck in it. Like, they would just hover there. They couldn't get out. I don't know how true that is, but if you go look it up, you can find it.
I used to wrap pilots with that plastic, the big rolls of plastic. You know, wrap up all the boxes. I'll keep them from falling off the pilot. And,
shrink wrapping.
Yeah, the shrink wrap. When I go around and around and around with it, and all my hairs be standing up, and you know the static electricity.
That's a cool story, Cyrus. I want to have to look that up, man. You know what? There's another story that I think I should do a video on. And I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it was also written into a book too. It was called The Electric Fog. Did you guys ever hear about that? Cyrus?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
So this pilot claimed that he actually traveled through a time tunnel. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yes. Yeah, they talked about that on Mysterious Universe podcast. Yeah.
So what that is what the story is. So for anyone out there who doesn't know, this pilot was traveling from, I forget where, like
off the coast of Florida, the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes, correct.
Between Florida and Bimini.
And he the flight should have taken an hour, right? It should have taken an hour. And he as he was flying, he saw this opening in the clouds, and it looked like a big tube was opening, and he flew into this tube, and he says like as he started to fly into it, it like closed around him, and he says it was like this big giant fucking like a tube of clouds, like a wall around him, and he says it was like this yellow electric fog that he's flying through. And he says, you know, you could see St. Elmo's fire like lighting up stuff all over the place. And he's like, there was like electricity kind of like zapping all throughout this thing. And as he flew through it and he came out the other side, he was already at his destination a half hour early. So a flight that should have taken an hour only took him a half hour. He like somehow traveled through time, passing through this like it sped up time or something. And the thing is, it's interesting is that they actually have him on radar going, you know, flying, and then he basically disappears off of radar and appears back at his destination and fucking like a half hour early. Like it should have taken him a fucking hour to get there, but it didn't. And even like the radar shows that that's what happened, you know, and he's like, this is what fucking happened. He doesn't know what was going on or whatever, but he flew through some kind of
almost like the Philadelphia experiment.
Kind of like some kind of a time tunnel, some like Bobby Cash is saying, like a wormhole, you know, that kind of just you know, he passed through. What are your guys' thoughts? Is he telling the truth or is he full of shit or what?
I have questions.
Never know. Hey, you know, I was seeing this one thing that this.
Hang on. What was your question, Raphael?
Could it be that there's really like cloud that's like electrically charged? Could it be that this electric charge could like overcharge the engine so they produce more thrust, and that this cloud could like cloak the plane from the radar? Something like this?
I assume that's maybe possible.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is, and pilots will know what it is, we have a speed called velocity never exceed. The symbol for it is V sub NE, velocity never exceed. That's the speed where the plane is going so fast that the wings come off. So if you go faster than V and E, you die.
So, but meaning what? That he could have
at some point, if the plane is going so fast, because whatever effect, the aerodynamic forces on the wing will rip them off the fuselage.
So you're saying that that it would have been you know, dangerous even for him to be traveling at such speeds.
Oh yeah.
Where, you know,
yeah.
reaching this destination way early. So
Absolutely.
it's possible that his time tunnel story could in fact be true. Now the thing is like okay, so it seems outlandish. However, through the eyes of a physicist, you know, stuff like that seems completely plausible. So if you're going to go talk to any, you know, anyone in quantum mechanics or anything like that, if you were to go talk to Einstein, you know, he would say, oh no, this is perfectly possible. In fact, he believed that these wormholes that he predicted that would exist in the universe could actually appear anywhere, even on Earth. You know, they could appear and disappear at any random time or whatever. Perhaps it is some kind of a Einstein-Rosen bridge that just appeared for us, you know, whatever, a half an hour that this guy just happened to travel through.
Well, we live in the electronic universe.
So there were
James,
reasons.
what were you going to say, James?
We live in the electronic universe. Everything's electrically connected, you know, throughout the whole universe. We already know that, you know what I mean? So the dimensions, they say that all these dimensions are right in front of our noses, but we can't see them, you know. Our brain is run electrically, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
everything's connected. It's just a matter of being able to tap into that. And certain times, you know, it could be possible that the guy could be telling the truth, that he was flying and he flew into an area that was electrically charged.
Now, Harry Toe is saying no way to overcharge the engine with electricity. More likely some bridge or radar issue. Yeah, you know, and I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one. You know, it seems like that, you know, overcharging the engine with electricity or something would in fact cause massive failures to your instruments and to everything else. And so I don't see that happening. Now it's just as far-fetched to believe that, you know, this wormhole opened up for this guy, but as like I stated before, you know, Einstein did predict that these things would exist, and if you know that they could form just naturally anywhere within the universe, so why not? You know, I'm not going to say that, you know, no one's going to call Einstein a crackpot. You know, no one's going to say that, oh, this guy is just, you know, he's just a fucking, you know, he's a crackpot fucking quack scientist who, you know, doesn't, you know, he's a fringe scientist, doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and, you know, he's a very intelligent man, and, you know, I would agree with a lot of the stuff that he says, especially like, you know, his theories, like, you know, special relativity and stuff, I think would have to come into play for something like this to occur. As a rare event that it may be, it doesn't seem like it's absolutely out of the realm of possibilities that, you know, it could have absolutely happened. Catch you later, Australia, Supercars Racing Live. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later, Mark.
So
Go ahead.
I lost it.
No, I lost it. Anyway, I wonder if I should do a video on that, dude, on that electric fog. I think I should, man. You know, because it's a cool story, and I can actually mix the video with the Bermuda Triangle with the electric fog story too. So that's a great idea for a video. Thank you for that, Vladimir. Fucking awesome, buddy.
Got it.
I'm trying to set an alarm here. I'm keep fucking around, like I keep forgetting what I'm doing because I have to go and pick up my girl at 9 o'clock. So don't let me forget, you guys. So everyone on YouTube who's watching right now, please let me know at 9 o'clock. I have to go and pick up my fucking girl. Do not let me forget. She will murder me, dude.
So there's always the chance of possibility, you know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and I think it's such an interesting story. The guy seems really credible. He doesn't seem like some fucking crackpot fucking guy who's just looking for attention or to write a story or, you know, try to make money off of it or anything like that. he seemed to have evidence to back up his story. What was that, Cyrus? We didn't see.
Alarm.
Ah, thank you, sir. Excellent.
Did you
He
hear
does seem to have some evidence to back up what he was saying, and his description is really detailed, and it doesn't seem like something that's made up, as opposed to something that he's was remembering what happened, and it doesn't have like a super climax like a good story would. It kind of just has what happened. He's just like, oh, I came out of it and I was already at my destination. Like, what the fuck? That just seems so crazy. But perhaps that would explain some of these disappearances. This electric fog, maybe these time tunnels open up, and maybe some of them, like this one, only took him a half hour ahead in time. Maybe some of them could take you 1,000,000 years ahead in time or something, or maybe it could take you back in time. I mean, who fucking knows, dude?
Not that I really believe them, but there are stories out there of, what do they call it? There's a famous one where some women were walking around Versailles in France, and they said that they felt dizzy or something, and all of a sudden they saw people walking around in period clothing from the 18th century, and basically they were there right around the time of the French Revolution in the what was it, 1782, something like that. There's like a famous story. There's some other ones. I know there's some from the UK as well. There's one about
the guy under his sink.
I don't know
that one.
I heard a story where a worker from somewhere, I can't remember where, was working, and when he had break, it was like there were no cars at the time, only horses with the thing in the back, and he was heading his newspaper, leaning back to the wall, and the next thing, when he get back from the wall, he was at another place. So he was at Versailles, then, in France, the Versailles. I don't know how to pronounce it in English.
There's also this monk.
It's pronounced in French, it's Versailles.
Versailles, okay.
There's this monk. There's a story, or like some kind of friar or something, who he was like a Portuguese or something, and he actually not like, I think he not only did he like apparently time travel, but he also apparently teleported, and he went from like Spain or Portugal or something all the way to Brazil. So across the fucking ocean, to a whole nother continent. And when he arrived there or whatever, he didn't speak their language. He was immediately arrested and shit like that. And, and he's trying to communicate with them. And then finally they got somebody to communicate with him. And he was telling them where he was from, that he was doing something, like he was just working or something, and that he he started feeling really faint, like feeling sick. And then he said everything kind of went white, and like all he saw was white. And then when the white started to fade away, he saw that he was at some other place. He was fucking like a different land. He didn't realize where he was, but he was in a different location. But then after talking to the this monk or this friar or whatever he was, for whatever, like a couple of days, it was then realized that not only was he from a different part of the earth, but he was actually a year into the future. He remembered it was like whatever, like 17 something, like 1715, and now all of a sudden it's 1716. He fast forwarded in time an entire year with this teleporting experience, God, I'm gonna have to. I have it in one of my books on mysterious mysteries, man.
Bobby Cash in chat has it. It's Time Slip is the name.
Whoa,
The
oh,
Time
yeah,
Slip.
Time Slip, absolutely, yeah, that's it. You know, thank you, Harry Toe. Oh, here, hang on.
So, given that there are 7.5 billion people on the planet, and there were more in history that are now dead, and taking the chance of possibility into account, maybe
This
there
book
was
right here,
like,
dude.
Nice
Actually,
lenticular cloud.
yep, there's a lenticular cloud there, dude. You know, this is actually a really good book, and it has a ton of you know, stories of mysterious phenomenon and interesting thing of mysterious entities, otherworldly abduction. That's cool.
On an unrelated note, are you old enough to remember the Time Life Unexplained books that they used to advertise on TV all the time, late 80s, early 90s? You might not be old enough. That might be a Gen X thing.
I am. They had the UFO on the cover.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
That's it, baby. Yeah, dude.
Those books are great, man. I read those like crazy.
You're like, yeah, are you old enough to remember them? Motherfucker, I own bitches, dude. That's damn right, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. I fucking love it, dude. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones, man. This one is the UFO phenomenon. A bunch of great stories in it. And this is another good one right here. Visitors from outer space. It actually has all kinds of good stories, but it even goes into ancient aliens, ancient aliens and stuff, and all kinds of you know, good, you know, photos and stuff like that, you know. And yeah, dude, I love
Oregon.
Oregon time of Photoshop.
This book, as a matter of fact, this other one, this is actually really interesting. They have a story in here where they're talking about this case with this UFO that was being seen and shit like that. And this guy was like scared to death of it, and he went and reported it to the police, and the police even saw it and stuff like that. And
Exeter, New Hampshire. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. And what's interesting, and there's just a little fucking thing that I picked up on, and I'm not sure many people picked up on when reading this story, was that the cops actually pulled up to a car when they saw the UFO. Okay, they saw the UFO, but they were pulling up to a car. A car was parked on the side of the road, but nobody was in it, you know. And I'm wondering, and then they saw as they pulled up behind this car that was on the side of the road, no one was in it. They saw the UFO rise up from behind these trees and these houses and shit, you know. But I'm like, there was a car on the side of the road with nobody in it. I wonder, did the people who were inside that car, if they got abducted by that fucking UFO, you know? It just makes me wonder, you know.
I've seen some compelling arguments that could have been B-47 bombers refueling from I forget what kind of plane it was. C-97, I forget. It's an air tanker they had in the 1950s, 1960s, actually based on the B-29. They said the lighting pattern they used to line the B-47 up with the tanker plane is the same as what the police were reporting on the UFO.
Now, the
book you're talking about is Incident at Exeter by what's the author's name? He's the guy that wrote the Betty and Barney Hill book.
Yeah, here it is, Exeter Incident. Yep. But this is here's the fucking here's one of the drawings of the encounter. All right. This is what they described seeing, you know. A big red fucking oval football shaped UFO, you know. So I don't see how they could confuse that with the refueling of a B-52 bomber. Although I'm sure I'm sure it's possible. But this was such an interesting story. I'm so surprised that you fucking know that one, Cyrus. What an interesting.
I know all my classic cases. I read all the same books as you. I know all those classic cases.
Hell yeah, dude. You
Wow.
know? I know these fucking books are great, dude. You know. All right, you guys. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. And go pick up my girl.
You, Kyle.
Yeah.
One quick thing.
Go for it, buddy.
To the teleportation thing. Maybe there are 7.5 billion people alive now, and more that are deceased now. Maybe there was one genius guy that built a teleportation device in his backyard or garage and kept it secret to everyone. Maybe there's chance of possibility, you know.
Yeah, dude. It's called Quantum Leap, dude. All right.
Ziggy.
Yeah, me and Ziggy are out of here, you guys. All right.
Goodbye, Ziggy.
All right, you guys. Oh, dude. 2 minutes. Thank you, Harry Toe. Fuck yeah, super chat, dude. Thank you, sir. 2 minutes to get my girl. I gotta fucking go. I love you guys. Thank you for coming and joining me. Thank you, Harry Toe. You're the fucking man. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget, share my videos. Go and hit share. Share the fuck out of them. Like, subscribe. Make sure you click the notifications. You know, support me on Patreon, PayPal, or fucking super chats, all that good shit. I gotta go get my girl. I'll see you guys later. All right. All right, you guys. UFO Proof out. All right, later. Yeah, dude. These fuckers love me, dude. I can't get enough of it. What's going on, Tony? How you been, buddy?
What up, brother?
Doing good?
Oh yeah, man.
Yo, what's up, Kyle? Who we got there? Hey, what up, Raphael?
Me, Rafael. I'm just going back from the city. I'm a little bit drunk and stuff, you know.
Where were you at?
I was going out in the city. I just had some nice conversation with the bartender. Oh, Kyle, I'm single again since 3 weeks, so now I can fuck shit up.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry, buddy. That sucks.
Yeah,
man.
no problem. I just had a great fucking conversation with the female barkeeper.
Dude, don't waste your fucking time with the bartender. See, that's her job, is to be nice and have good conversations, dude. It's like, oh, dude, I'm telling you, this girl likes me. Yeah, she works at the strip club, but I'm telling you guys, she fucking totally digs me, dude. You know, you gotta know what's the difference, brother. You're in, buddy. Love the program. Hell yeah, dude. Not me. I just gave you a thumbs up. Hell yeah. One of these fuckers, just soon as I fucking started, gave me a thumbs down, dude. Not one of you guys. I mean, he's obviously not on here. Just some fucking troll, dude. What up, Sean? Yeah, as soon as I fucking started, I was like, as soon as I started, they're like, fucking thumbs down. You know what that means? That means you're subscribed to my shit. So, haha, because you fucking love me. Yeah, you know it's because they're jealous as fuck, dude. You know it, dude. They're haters. What's up, you guys? UFO Proof here. Well, I decided to go a little bit earlier today, just because we were having this festival, some kind of parade we were having in town, and I was attempting to broadcast live, so you guys could see all the fireworks and shit, and I caught it at the last second, but I was doing it on my mobile phone, so I don't think it actually went. I don't even think it actually went live or even recorded, man. It looked like it did. It looked like it was working, but there were no views, no likes, no comments, no nothing. So I'm like assuming it didn't, you know, it wasn't going out. So that kind of sucked, man. But I did get the drone going, which is fucking awesome, man. And that was my main thing, was I wanted to broadcast that so everyone could see that it fucking worked. I have accomplished it. What up, Gonzo the Great? How you doing, buddy? What up, Golf Man? Doing good, man. If anyone wants to come and join, we're discussing UFO hotspots, more UFO hotspots from around the world. And feel free to come and say what's up. We'll be posting a link to join the Hangouts in the comment section on YouTube. You should see it posted next to my name, UFO Proof. That might not be it. Hang on. Let me make sure I got it for you guys. All right, boom. What up, Leroy Jenkins? Boom. So there it is. What up, Wade? How you doing, buddy? Look at that, dude. What haters already on here with the thumbs down, huh? What loser is subscribed to my shit where as soon as they fucking come on, they're like, oh, I gotta give you a thumbs down, man. Oh, fucking losers. Ha! You love me, dude. What up, Z-Rex? It's right there, buddy. The drone. And so, like, I need to solder those, like, the wires back together. And I don't know where they go. Like, you know, I see, like, where you have to hook them all, but I don't know which exact little spot I have to solder each wire. And so I can't use the fucking camera on it. But the drone flies just great, dude. And as soon as I figure out where those wires go, you know, it's fucking on, dude. You know, like this thing, dude, there is such a difference between $100 drone and a $1,500 drone, man. When you fly it, I mean, there's not even a comparison. I mean, like, I was so fucking impressed with this thing, dude. I was fucking bad as shit, dude. So anyway,
is it like a wire or is there a plug that goes to it?
It's so it's like this little board it's like these little metal pins, and you kind of slide it on there and they fucking touch each other. And the metal pin, like once they make contact, you know, it's just like that. So like the whole camera can slide on and off. And but the problem is like where the wires could connect to the little board, the little pins that actually rub against it, those fucking wires broke off the little soldered points, you know. So I soldered them together today, but they were obviously the wrong fucking way, dude. So I'm like, fuck, man. So that kind of sucks.
Be careful. You'll make it release the magic smoke.
Exactly. You know, everything seems to be working just fine though, except for the goddamn camera. But and I tried looking up how to find out about that fucking, like where to find the stuff on it, but I can't. Oh, what up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? What up, James? Yeah, I can't find a fucking like a schematic or something for it, you know, to show me like where the wires go. A pain in the ass, man. Anyway, so Cyrus, did you catch today's or earlier's hangout?
Yeah, I was at the office.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we were talking about UFO hotspots, and for everybody else out there, what up, Dave? How you doing, buddy? We're discussing UFO hotspots, so I kind of like to continue that conversation. Sean saying my phone is so dead, or I'd come on. Is that the only way you jump on? Is using your phone? You don't have a fucking like a computer with a like a webcam? That's weird. I always thought it was funny how he like set up his fucking like camera and then like looking at the computer too, and then doing all that shit. No shit, that makes sense. So you don't even have a webcam, dude. I see. Oh man. Well, anyway, so Cyrus, tell me, dude, what are your fucking what are some of your favorite UFO hotspots around the world? What do you think?
Maybe Hestelen in Norway.
Excellent place, man. Absolutely. And why don't you go ahead and explain what Hestelen is to people who don't know, in case they're watching for the first time?
It's generally thought that Hestelen is a natural phenomenon. It's Earth lights. It's a rural valley. It's Norway, right? I think it's Norway.
Yes, it is.
It's a very rural place. And I think they've been monitoring that area for 20 years now, 25 years, since the 80s, I think.
At least since the late 80s or early 90s or something, they've been monitoring that place. And Cyrus, I have to agree with Cyrus now. Everybody else seems that I attempted to go live with my using my phone or whatever, and it didn't go live for some, it didn't broadcast. But what I was showing everybody was that my new Typhoon H drone, I had that bitch fucking flying. I was filming the whole parade, and it might not seem like a big deal, except this is a $1,500 drone that I got for $100, and it didn't fucking work. And I got that bitch working, fucking flying, kicking ass, dude. I was so fucking stoked about it, man. Everyone at the parade was freaking out over it too, man, because I was flying it up and down fucking Main Street right over the floats and shit. Not on purpose. I was trying to stay high, but I kind of fucked up and I almost ran into some floats and shit. I was like, like trying to avoid them and shit, you know? But I'd like to continue our discussion on UFO hotspots from around the world, because I thought that was a really interesting conversation we were having earlier today in the Google Hangouts I did earlier around noon today or whatever. And I thought we would continue that for all the people on the other side of the world who didn't get to participate in it, because I thought it was a good subject. Hey, what up, Cyrus? What the fuck was that? Oh, it was Raphael, dude. Guaranteed, dude. Like that fucked up noise. Yeah, it's got to be Raphael, man. What up, Gyro 420?
So,
so Cyrus, guess what, dude?
What's up, man?
I was fucking flying the shit out of the Typhoon H, man.
Yeah, I just heard you talking about it.
Dude, I was fucking filming the parade with it. The only thing that sucks, and this is what I meant to call you about earlier, man, is I took it out for a test flight yesterday, and when I landed, it landed hard, and it broke the fucking camera off the gimbal, you know? Like the gimbal off the